We're in AD 28, and we're in number 27 of the events of Jesus' life during AD 28 of 36. And we're looking at parables. We're looking predominantly at Matthew chapter 13, where there are 8 parables. We look parallel passages in Mark. There are 4 parables. And in Luke, there are 2 parables, Mark chapter 4 and Luke chapter 8. Now, if you were to go to the internet and Google it, you would find that some people say that there are 39 parables of Jesus. Others would say that there are more than that. I think some go up as high as 55 parables of Jesus. And some have even said that there are 100 parables in the New Testament, but not all of Jesus. And you might ask yourself, are there any parables in the Old Testament? And you will find the answer is anywhere from 11 to 29 parables in the Old Testament. However, when you look at the parables of Jesus, you've got to decide whether or not you want to count those that are found in more than one gospel as a parable, an extra parable, or whether we're talking about unique, one type parable like the sower, for example, instead of being in 3 places, just counting it as one parable. And so I think you're going to find that the unique parables of Jesus are someplace around 27 to 30 unique, individual, different parables. But in any case, we're looking today at 2 parables because they're so short. And they're both found in Matthew, verses 44 of chapter 13 is the kingdom is like a treasure hidden in a field. And when a man finds the treasure, he sells all that he has and buys the field. If you look at Matthew chapter 13, verses 45 and 46, you find another very similar parable, and it follows immediately behind the treasure in the field. And that's a merchant who is seeking fine pearls. And he finds one fine pearl and he sells all that he has to buy it. Now, both of these would be considered kingdom parables because it starts out by saying the kingdom of God is like. And what we're trying to say here is obviously the kingdom of God is of great value, and we ought to be willing to give up everything else in order to be sure we have the kingdom of God. A very pointed message here in finding something of great value, so great that you're willing to get rid of everything else if you have to in order to have it. And that's exactly the message that is here in these parables. And so we find that there are a number of kingdom parables in the Gospels. We find that there are 6 kingdom parables right here in Matthew and Mark and Luke in this particular section. There's the wheat and the tares, the mustard seed, the leaven, the hidden treasure, the pearl of great value, which we just talked about, and the dragnet. Those are 6 individual, unique, different parables, all about the kingdom of God compared to the kingdom of God. So if you want to know what the kingdom of God is like, read all 6 of those parables. You'll find most of them right there in Matthew in chapter 13. You'll find that they're quite interesting, and you can start to find out what the kingdom of God is really like. His kingdom is here on earth, but it's also in heaven, and it is of great value, and we ought to be willing to forsake all other things if we can be sure that we have the kingdom of God. And that's my thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.